What is going on, beautiful people? Today is May 31st, 2020. We're a little bit late at night now. This is probably going to be either the first episode of a completely new series or it's going to be Reflections 82. Whatever I choose, because I've decided to fucking completely flip the way this series is done, and I might just pivot it into its own thing because it's that fucking different. Before I get into that, my name is Josh Moxie. I am an aspiring entrepreneur. I'm a natural creative and energy worker and a bunch of other things, but I'm a bunch of labels and I don't feel like being placed in any one box because that's not how I roll. Anyways, what's going on today is usually I will ask myself questions on camera like, hey, in this past 2 weeks as I reflect on my week, aka reflections, get the name, okay? As I reflect on those days, if you will, I am asking myself questions like, what worked, what didn't, what lessons did I learn? What challenges did I experience? How did I grow? Stuff like that, okay? And that has changed in the past 24 hours. I woke up today with that being the plan, and then I was like, fuck this. I'm so sick of reflections the way it is right now. I've struggled in the past 4 episodes, except for episode 80 was just gold. But 78, 79, and 81, I was just not pleased with. So I was like, fuck this. Let us try something new. So I woke up today and I was like, okay, first thing, let's experiment with some potential ideas that we could turn this into a new series and an even better series and evolve this motherfucker. And what I came up with is talking about things by topic. Not a mind-blowing concept in the least. However, I have never done it like this. It's always been like very like by the book. I've structured things in a way where I will take like a theme of the episode and spread it out throughout all the questions. So say I'm talking about a business experience or lesson or whatever, I will stretch out that one experience throughout lessons, throughout what worked, throughout what didn't, throughout challenges, throughout growth, whatever all the fucking categories. And it's just like a very long-winded way. There's a lot of duplicates. And it's just a very extra and unneeded way of doing things, I find. So today the insight was, let's try doing things by topic. Let's take a deep dive real quick and then come up for air and then immediately pivot into a related topic, because that's the way things can flow, the way they're probably supposed to, like a conversation more like. So let me quickly check my notes. So what I realized today is that within covering those type of topics and that type of deep dive and coming up for air manner, if you will, the flow is going to change so much. I'm not going to keep everything like waiting until the next section to talk about something I already want to talk about. The flow is going to be ridiculously good. It's going to be a lot looser. I don't want to have this like crazy rigid structure. I want to be able to go wherever and just talk about whatever is relevant to my past 2 weeks. It's going to be very, very experiential focused, specifically, hey, these are my experiences and this is what I'm learning from them. This is how I'm growing from them. This is how I'm evolving. Here's what's working. Here's what isn't. And I'm covering all these fucking questions that I used to have as dividers throughout my episode, except I'm doing it just by talking about my experiences. I never like considered this, but yeah, it's subconsciously hitting on every single thing. It's beautiful. It's also just much more natural in nature. This is how we communicate as humans. We don't just like stick to one fucking regime and just hit a bunch of questions and like try to spread it all out. Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. So anyways, this has been an interesting day to say the least regarding all this, because I did this for the first time. So like I introduced that concept and I was like, okay, this fucking works. And I got really fucking excited. And then I was doing really fucking good, but like the time just went nowhere real fucking fast. And this ended up just taking way too fucking long. And that's part of the process of trying things for the first time. They're not going to go amazing in the first few tries, if you will. They might take longer, they might be harder than normal and then what you were expecting, but that is the process of starting anything new. Like, why should you expect it to be this incredible fucking thing? But I'm fucking excited for all this, because even though this document that I'm looking at right now is a fucking nightmare, it's got 5,000 words because everything just like was just a shit show in organizing it. I'm getting started. and I really appreciate that. And I'm getting started with imperfection. There's tons of flaws right now, and this episode might even be questionable. That might be way too fucking long. We'll see how it goes. At the end of the day, though, I needed to fucking evolve. I could not stay with the exact same format and keep that going, because life is about fucking evolution. We need to, when we get stagnant, do things differently. And as soon as I started to recognize, I'm like, this is not feeling right anymore, I immediately started looking at like root cause stuff. I'm like, okay, is there something wrong with this series? Is it something internal? There is some internal work I need to be doing right now, and I will touch on that in a few moments, but when I start talking about content stuff. But fuck, I'm just very pleased with this next step, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. So, long ass fucking intro, but let's get started. In case I didn't say this, bear with me if this is not like the greatest episode of all time. These are gonna get very good very fast. I can feel that, but they might just be questionable right from the get, just because I'm very new to this new format, and this is why this took me almost all fucking day to get this all set up. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's talk about content first, because that's just relevant, as you know. I have been on a mission to catch up on content right now, and that mission has not gone amazing, but it's tested me a lot, man. This vlog catch up is something else. Like, if you were to tell me when I first started that I would be recording, what week am I recording right now? Episode 19. So 19 weeks straight of vlogging, and I would only have posted 3 episodes by that point, I would have just laughed you out of the room, because like that just didn't make any logical sense why I would start something and keep it fucking going if I was so behind. But it's been so much fun. I've loved it, like so much of it, that I will keep going, and I eventually will catch up. So I've been thinking a lot about that, of how the hell I'm going to pull it off, but equally believing I can. I just do think it's possible. So, in between all this, I have finally made progress on episode 4 of the process, which is the one where I get canned from Starbucks. So that's always fun. But I had so much resistance to that. And what really worked well for me was making sure I was working on it by bit, instead of just going all at once, let's timestamp everything. Because I tried to do that one day. It just didn't fucking work. And when I went day by day and step by step, it was much easier to tackle that, because you've got to eat an elephant one bite at a time. And when you try to eat an elephant in one bite in one single day, sometimes it's just not going to work that well. So that was paramount for me. I also realized I can like edit and timestamp at the same time, which is basically what I did, because I had most of the editing done, but I needed to do a few tweaks, so I was doing them as I was timestamping. Worked relatively well. Very key thing with that episode, by the way, I had a narrative, and I realized how important it is to have a narrative when I'm being vulnerable. So it's not just like, oh, poor me, I got fired, everything. No, it's like my process of detaching from a situation like that and moving on and growing. And I think once I came up with that narrative, I was much more excited to put it out, because before it was like, oh, I'm just like throwing up news about how I was canned in the situation. It just didn't feel amazing. But once I got that narrative, everything fucking changed. Also related, sitting down and making progress. Like, it's so much harder to just sit down, but once you sit down, that's like most people's hang up. They can't sit down. They can't sit with that blank page. They can't just allocate the time to said task, and they're so resistant to just getting started. But once they actually sit down with that canvas, with that page, with that screen, and just take the first step, it's much easier to do. You still might want to get up after, but like, stay seated for the time being, get some stuff done, pile through whatever the first task is, and then maybe you take a break after when you actually feel like you need it. But then fucking come back to the seat and continue. This is very important. And like, I found myself, I would leave and then wait way too long, and then the moment would be gone. But yeah, it's very important, I think. So yeah, that feels fucking great. I'm so excited about getting that out there, because I have been pushing off this episode out of fear and a lot of like insecurity stuff for a long fucking time. And I'm so glad, because I know once I get this out there, it's going to be so much easier to move forward on other things. My God. Okay, Next, I also worked on some micro content stuff. I've been also very resistant to doing micro content in my catch up, but I finally made like a template that is really clean for micro content. I love, and I actually might start throwing up like tutorials on how to make very clean looking micro content. It's very like Team GaryVee style the way I design. So if you would find value in that, let me know. I'll fucking do a tutorial on it, show you how I do it exactly, and then give you a template that you can download for yourself to make it easy. I work in Premiere. That would be the only limitation. I will only provide Premiere tutorials and stuff like that, or After Effects potentially, but overall that is going to be the limitation on that. For that I also set up the 100th post. That was cool. It was just a post on destroying doubt, aka going one step at a time, which I found is a fucking great principle, and the video came out pretty fucking well, which is cool because I've always wanted to clip more vlog pieces, if you will, just like take it from the vlog, turn it into a micro content, but I'm not great at it. I need to improve my systems on that 1000%. But holy shit, I fucking love the drop shadow associated with that video. So nice, so fucking nice. Overall in the content, I've just had a lot of internal challenges that I'm working through right now. Like one-off videos, reflections, they've just felt off recently. There's been some resistance around talking about my experience because it's like, why should I be talking about, like, I'm sure tons of people that are getting started also deal with this. It's like, is my point of view actually worthwhile? Can I speak on certain subjects, or am I just throwing out my opinion for no one to hear? I'm definitely going through some stuff with that right now, and most of the time I'm really good at being okay with that, but like even right now I sense that there is more to work on in this regard, which is a beautiful gift, because like if I can do that, I now deal with the root cause pattern, or at least if I am focused on that, which I am, that's how I roll, and then I'm able to get more out of life, if you will, when I confront such an important pattern like that is not limited to content, it's just about like in general. So, because it goes beyond content and will start manifesting in other areas if I don't solve that. So that's a beautiful thing for me to look at and deal with. And it's just like resistance to being an authority, feeling like I don't know enough to talk about things on camera, insecurity around like academics and very logical people like shitting on me around certain things that are out there, if you will. Stuff like energy work, definitely part of resistance for sure. Just because it's such an out there concept, but boy, that shit is real as hell. Stuff like that, man. The actionable is absolutely just like keep working internally and keep looking at what actually is going on at as root cause of level as I can go. Started working on thumbnails a lot more. I'm trying to get better at dealing with my SEO and my distribution part of things, if you will. It's only like you can make all the content in the world, which I've made a shit ton of content at this point. I'd probably like 200 episodes by the time this goes up. And equally, I need to start working more on distribution. I want more eyeballs on it. I want more ears, if you will. I want more people being impacted by the message. Simple as that. And if I can't do that, why am I doing this? So it's been important for me to allocate some time, and it's really working well just throwing up like a tutorial while I'm eating, while I'm half asleep at night, and just gathering those information through those tutorials that I can apply. It seems like Canva is a fucking gem of a tool. Photoshop also works great for thumbnails and stuff like that, but getting some good ideas on that front, 1000%. I also don't need to do this like perfect fucking thumbnail with for example, like the mask, if you will. I don't need to do this crazy thing. That was a huge unlock for me this week. Like I can do a lot less and get a lot more done by just focusing on speed through some thumbnails. They don't need to be fucking perfect. Also related on the one-off videos, I don't want to do the whole script thing because that feels inauthentic to me, but so I have to find this balance of knowing and guiding myself enough, but also not doing a script. And there is a fine balance within there that I need to find out. I also want to work on color corrections. I don't like my color corrections right now. Those need to be fixed as well. Same thing with the thumbnails. They're like decent, but I want everything to be a little bit better. Things are definitely taking too long right now in terms of fucking like the titling, the thumbnails, the detailing, even editing. Like, so I just gotta continue applying what I know works to speed up the process, as well as educating myself on new processes and new ways of doing things, because I don't know everything and I need to figure out a lot more. It's very important to me. It would also be very beneficial for me to sit down and study whatever is going on for these very successful one-off videos and speeches and all types of stuff like that, because it's an opportunity for me to internalize those types of systems and get world-class at communication, because I am not world-class at communication and I want to be. And my structures are fucking garbage right now and they need to get better, because life is about stories and I'm not that great at telling stories right now. And I want to be world-class. I do. Overall, I am good with being behind right now because I feel like I'm going to catch up eventually. But I am nervous because there's a possibility that they don't come out the way I'm expecting them to, because it's as if I'm playing hockey in the dark right now, okay? Like, I'm shooting the fucking puck at the net, but I don't know if it went in. I am just guessing and going on feel, if you will, and doing my best to guesstimate, but like, I don't know the score. I don't know any of it. I'm literally just playing sports in the dark right now. I'd like to think I'm doing good with recording and stuff like that, and I'm setting things up in a way where it makes it easier on myself to edit and stuff like that, but I actually don't know. So it's literally just me just guessing out here. I also really liked that I took a day off this week and just honored that I didn't need to record, because I just don't some days, and it's just better with a weekly vlog some days if I just, hey, I don't want to record today. And that's what I did on Friday. So worked well. I definitely made some good progress in the past 2 weeks on just like focusing on things that were crippling me, like specifically the Process 004, posted the Process 003, and which was funny because there's a lot of things in there that still make me nervous to think about that are out there. Specifically like that first part with me flexing. Oh God. Anyways, so yeah, I made some posts on Instagram. I'm not very active right now on actual posts on Instagram. I want to get better at this, but right now I'm not there. Need to improve my systems on that and my discipline in that area, 1000%. So yeah, I published a few things, edited a few episodes, posted a few things on social. Ooh, I started UCAB Flow's interview preparation. We're so excited about that. Holy fuck, that's gonna be a great interview. Hit 50 subscribers. Feels hilarious to say that after how many videos and how many podcasts, I'm only at 50, but holy fuck, I appreciate you so much if you stick around and actually consume my content. Like, the fact that it's bringing you enough value that you'll actually watch this, even if it's just for a few minutes, is amazing to me. And I'm so hoping that it's just impacting you in a positive way if you're consuming this. Like, that's everything to me. It means so fucking much. So thank you if you're in the first 50. Amazing. And as for goals, like going forward, definitely 100 next, and then 1,000, and then like ultimately I want a fucking massive channel. So I'm literally just gonna shoot for everyone, because why not? Shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you're gonna end up amongst. Oh wait, I fucked that up. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss. You know what the fuck I'm saying. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll end up amongst the stars. It's facts. And why not shoot for a massive fucking goal, right? Goal like that. And that's like very, very aligned with like concepts that Andy Frisella teaches, and I'm very thinking about that a lot this week as well. Which goes into my next point, which is MFCEO and the powerless and all that jazz. I literally dedicated a full day to the vlog on powerless, and it actually went really fucking well. I accidentally listened to not even accidentally, I subconsciously listened to a full episode of the MFCEO project while I was falling asleep, and it was Win the Day. So once I actually went through that, it just reminded me of the power of the subconscious and like what you feed it. Because my next day after that was so about the powerless in my mind. It was just like powerless. Even without listening to it consciously. I did happen to listen to it consciously later on in the day, but up until then I was just purely operating on what was going on up here in my subconscious, if you will. And ended up really being really cool to just like share what was going on within my system, if you will, for that specific day. Rather than just tell, I actually show what went down. And it also was cool because it ended up being a weird day in that my power list went way too fucking long, kind of like today. And I ended up showing that, like, and it's cool to show like when things don't go as planned and you still persevere anyways. I like that a lot. I also just wish everyone would use this fucking system, and I shared with like Q, Brian, Azel, Will, people I think could use it and apply it and actually really benefit from it. So, and also I started also listening to Real as Fuck by Andy Frisella. Insane. Like, the guy's evolved so much. I haven't listened to properly in such a long time. I've been very like GaryVee land, if you will. And man, I've never heard him say effortless without absolutely just cutting someone's head off. To hear him say something like build habits to make your life effortless and to be like less uphill, if you will, was just like, what the fuck? It was just absolutely amazing to hear him say something like that. I was so happy. So it's just amazing to see his evolution. Definitely going to be listening to more Real AF because that shit is golden. Now, going back to content a little bit, something I've done in the past that has not worked at all has been me completely zeroing in on, oh my god, I just need to do only content creation. I gotta catch up and just, only content creation. That has not worked because I'll get to the end of the cycle, and then if I do catch up on content, it's like there's nothing to funnel it into, if you will. I need to have something beyond that to sustain me financially and be like, okay, content's cool, but usually it's for business in terms of, it's just like the long-term play. There's a lot of things that are going on within my content, but anyways, business is massively a part of this, okay? And within this, I need to be able to hack away at whatever the current project is in addition to content. So it's not about just content, it's about let's get business and content into one day and make sure I'm making huge strides on both of those things. Haven't done an amazing job with business so far with this, but I definitely have realized the importance of being like, yo, I need to do both at the same time. So when I am caught up on content, I also have things rolling in other areas that will allow me to keep going on content so I don't have to fucking get another job or anything like that. That's crazy important to me and a massive unlock for me this week. As for business stuff, man, there's like so many things I want to do right now. Like, I would love so badly. I'm obsessed with the idea of putting like positive messages on shirts and mugs. Oh, I can't stop thinking about this. I also can't stop thinking about, this is not business really, but this is more like just giving value, if you will. Texting and email services, and as well as like short-term messages, mini blog posts, just like living and breathing GaryVee and Seth Godin in the way they do theirs. Oh, so fucking good. I'm obsessed with that idea right now. Okay, so back to business stuff though. I feel like I've made some good unlocks and progressions here. Let me open my notes. Definitely had some procrastination go on with me setting up my WordPress site, but I am making progress, which is good. And I've realized you're only truly serious about something if you're able to allocate like 30 to 60 minutes of your day every single day to progressing it. So in those terms, I'm technically not, because I'm not doing it every single day right now, but I need to get back to that. I was doing it for a second there. It felt really good. I was checking things off my blocks every day, or boxed, more like to-do list. But yeah, it's because like if you do that every single day, if you able to allocate, not even able, if you carve out the time, because that shows you're actually committed to doing it. Everyone has the time. It's just a matter of like, are you committed to doing it? Is it a big enough priority for you? And if you're able to carve out 30 to 60 every day, you're fucking flying, because that shit adds up so fucking fast over time. And then eventually you'll look back and be like, wow, this is magic. But no, it's actually just you hacking away every single day at whatever the chief priority task is for you. And then boom, you have results, quote unquote, overnight. But no, you were fucking hacking away at it consistently. Very important. So it was great to be able to say, like, finally, I feel ready enough that I can confirm, yeah, I can definitely put in 30 to 60 every day and eventually progress to where I want to hit. It's also been really useful for me to have accountability partners without like consciously being like, hey, you're my accountability partner, right? No, but if you involve people in projects, they're immediately your accountability buddies. So like my buddy Zach, he's been helping me with WordPress and SEO and stuff like that. So he is my accountability partner for that. For content creation, it's definitely going to be like Azel, for example, because I am doing a collaboration with him, and also the interviews as well. So like even just getting started on like interviews and new series like can't speak, Beauty and the Base, the collaboration with Azel and BCP, all types of stuff like this. I am like getting started and then like following through as time goes on and making sure if I have other people involved, it's so much easier to get done because they are my accountability partner, and inside of me, I hate letting people down. So that's a massive driver for my progress and theirs, actually, if you take a step back at the end of the day. So yeah, basically just like don't wait. What I'm realizing is it's just a bad idea to just wait, and it's just a good idea to just get started as soon as possible. Or at least when it feels like it's actually right and you can actually feel that clear enough. And that's the difference between thinking and feeling. Pay attention to that. Okay. I did actually, so I was very resistant to even spending money on like hosting and stuff like that, and I wanted like a monthly, but I said, fuck it, we're just going to get a year because the way the terms are, it's just better for money saving purposes, if you will. So I got a year at SiteGround and, okay, wait, is it actually SiteGround? Fuck, what's it called? Boom, it is. Okay, cool. I like second guessed myself for a second there. So I got a year at SiteGround, and like this looks to be a fucking gem of a company that's moving up and up. And honestly, I chose them a lot because they seem like the up and comer, and I view myself as the up and comer as well. So I was like, fuck it. This is like, I realized they basically choose brands based on how I view myself, if you will. I did this with Notion as well. That has turned out phenomenally. All types of stuff like that, man. I always just like to choose the underdog and the one that's heading in the right direction rather than choosing the sustainable giant, if you will. It's just how I am. I also had to kill my VPS, which is actually just like crippling inside. Holy fuck. So sad. I will miss that VPS, man. But why at this point? Like, I just can't keep this up. So moved fully to just shared hosting, if you will. A big theme for sure has been doing things I've been putting off. That feels incredible, and it's very, very important for me, man. Also, like this idea of evolution. If I am in the state of evolution, I feel just infinitely better. I feel so alive, and like that's definitely what happened today. Earlier on, I was like, yes, like this. I'm finally evolving reflections, or whatever the fuck I end up calling this, and it just makes me feel so alive at a soul level. But also related to this is like when you're doing things you're putting off, you're usually scared of them to a certain degree. This is why you procrastinate. It's usually fear or some sort of insecurity or doubt or whatever the fuck the ego decides to throw at you. And when you overcome that, you are evolving in a certain way, and it's fucking amazing. So getting started on the WordPress and SEO stuff, and like having a call with my friend Zach, that was amazing. Talk about accountability again. Like that was so fucking useful to work with him. So now he has my back on that stuff, and I also have his back on. So it's like I hate to use the word trade, but like it's not even a trade. It's not transactional in nature. We're helping each other. And P.S. I am obsessed right now with the idea of friends helping friends. It is amazing how many friends I have right now that are just so ready to help each other. We've got like the main ones that come to mind right now, like Zach, Azel, Brian, Achint, Tony, and there's others that I'm not going to list right now. But man, it feels so great that friends are working together and helping each other get shit done. Everything to me. Fucking everything. And just not giving with the sake of getting something back, but just giving for the sake of giving. And ideally trying to reciprocate and give back freely as well whenever you can. It's a beautiful fucking feeling. So with that meeting with Zach though, holy shit, that was sick. And like actually made me more comfortable with SEO. It was remarkable. Probably the biggest thing he told me was this like idea of setting up the business block, if you will, on the right hand side of a Google page, because holy shit, it is an absolute wizard for authority. And even if you can't rank number one with SEO, you can still grab this area on the right. And I think it's even better than, from my personal perspective, if I have the opportunity to look left or right in the Google page, absolutely gonna choose that like title card or whatever with the business or whatever the fuck the case may be. It's powerful as hell. So working with that crazy Yoast he recommended, that's probably gonna save my life. Elementor, very similar thing. That's gonna help me build a website fast. Yoast is gonna teach me so much with SEO. I'm excited as fuck. Equally, none of this shit fucking matters if you build a brand correctly. And I've realized that. But this is useful for the time being while I don't have a fucking 8 million person following thing on social media. I also just have enjoyed watching like SEO videos and stuff like that. Brian Dean, holy fuck. His stuff has been crazy. Like, here's my biggest takeaway from his videos. If you are not able to understand what your video is about purely by reading your tags, neither can YouTube. That was a fucking game changer for me because if you throw up too many tags in the wrong areas and wrong categories, if you will, it's just going to confuse YouTube and then they'll recommend you nowhere. So I was like, holy shit, I need to take a better look at this. So just like look at his videos and it'll explain it better on that. But holy fuck, that was a crazy takeaway for me. I started going through Dr. Sue's content finally. I was so resistant for the longest time of doing this. But man, her content's fucking amazing. I quickly realized she's a spiritual fucking gangster. I was very impressed, especially at just like her good intent and how she was as a soul. Amazed. So fucking good. And one of my biggest takeaways, and by the way, it was with Dr. Sue's energy codes for, I forget what it's called. But anyways, it's really fucking good. And I started with week 2 for whatever reason. And but it was blowing my mind completely, and you can see this more in the vlog for sure. It really showed me that I actually need to feel instead of trying to throw an emotion away or trying to get rid of it. In order to get rid of it, quote unquote, I need to fully embrace it and not try to push it away. I need to step into it, build a circuit, if you will, breathe through it, and then whatever the fucking case may be, that whatever's triggering me will end up, the whole goal is always peace at the end of the day, but it's not by throwing it away, it's by going through it. So that was crazy to me. I was like, holy shit, all this stuff I'm trying to just throw away and trying to just like, okay, quickly do a session, everything, like, and I've just been so scared to feel certain things, and I just don't think that's useful anymore. So that's been a huge unlock for me, and I will be continuing going through Dr. Sue's stuff going forward because she is insanely powerful, man. The goal of this work is absolutely just like adding another level of foundational work that's going to help me in whatever life throws at me. I'll be able to handle and stand, or not even stand. I'll be able to stay balancing on a ball. That is my goal with this shit. So in addition to Sue Morter, I've also been listening to a lot of Tea with GaryVee. Fucking amazing. What a series. Man, one of my biggest takeaways from that series this week was definitely you can clear all of your debt by just being patient, raising your prices, and selling them until the debt is gone. That was crazy. Because like I've thought about this a bunch of times and I thought it was just like entrepreneurial math when you just like go so crazy and it ends up being just completely unrealistic. But hearing it from Gary himself was like a very, very important thing for me in that type of thing. Because I was like, it's not just me. It's actually, I'm hearing it from an absolute fucking G in entrepreneurship. That moment specifically was from a conversation every content creator should hear. Loved that episode. Oh my God. On that note as well, I'm excited to say that Gary follows me on Twitter. This is crazy to me still. It's really cool. And equally, it's like, I was so excited at first. Now I'm much more like, okay, this is cool, but like, it doesn't actually fucking matter at the end of the day. Yes, he is like one of my biggest inspirations in all areas of life. However, he's just a human like everyone else. And it's cool that he follows me on social media, but it's not like the goal, if you will. It's just like a nice to have. And I'm so grateful that he follows me, don't get me wrong, but I need to remind myself to keep it off a pedestal because like him, and he would say this about this probably as well, which is like, it's just like, it's a small piece of the pie, if you will. It does help. It's really fucking useful. But boy, there are much more important things out there. Like, am I having a massive fucking impact? Am I putting out 100 pieces of content a day, as he would say, stuff like that. But however, it has really helps me improve my Twitter game because I am now using social accountability for the better. Sometimes you can like have people be like, yo, you should be a certain way type of thing. And it's just like this hardwiring we all have. And you'll notice that you're a certain way within certain social settings then different maybe like at home versus when you're at work versus when you're with your buddies. Like you can be like a slightly different version of yourself or very different depending on how you are. But this has forced me to upgrade how I tweet. So I'm very grateful about Gary following me because I just imagine him seeing it in his feed, me saying really something like just ridiculous. And it forces me to be better as a creator, if you will, on Twitter. And I've been way more uplifting, way more positivity focused, way more practicality, minimal like stupid ass tweets like that fucking A to Z thing I had. Wow. Just less dumb shit like that. But fuck. Anyways, it just feels good that Gary's following me. That was cool. And my reaction was fucking priceless. You should definitely check it out in the vlog. That would be in the process 18, midweek. And also related to GaryVee, jab, 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 right hook. My God, reading that right now in this very simple thesis, but I'd never really considered it, which is like when you're branding yourself as a company, brand yourself so personable that you feel like a fucking human being. Crazy nuance, and yet that's exactly who I want to interact with brands. Ones that actually look and feel like a human being. What a concept. Let's talk Notion real quick. I was obsessed with these icons I set up in the past weeks. Jesus Christ, they look incredible. I set up content stream organization, so I added some more filters and views, if you will, to make things even more organized. I was struggling actually with this idea of like I want it to be a nested type of organization, in that there could be like an and an or, if that makes sense. You'd have to see what I'm saying to actually understand what the hell I'm talking about right now. But they actually introduced the feature this week, so I was amped about that, and that solved one of my biggest challenges in terms of Notion. So I'm very, very grateful that they're actually like listening to us. It's amazing. So yeah, I set up like an actively working on Kanban flow, which has been crazy useful for me. Basically what goes into that is like, if you have a crazy overwhelming system, if you will, of all of your pieces of content, you can quickly get lost and forget what you're actually working on. So I just have this thing set up where it's like, okay, it was modified in the last week, it was added in the last week, it was changed of stages. Actually, that's the same as modifying in the last week. And there's some other things, just things that are happening in the last week that tell me could be active. And it's not perfect, but it's close enough. It gets the fucking job done. And I have it all set up in Kanban throughout creative stage, so I can quickly move things across. It just looks fucking great, and it's not too crazy. It's just like just enough. I'm very here for it right now. Also on Notion stuff, I'm actually very overwhelmed with how many Notion windows I leave open for just an eternity to remind me about something, and then just like I never actually get to some of these things, and then I have to like shut them all down because it gets too crazy. And holy fuck. Also holding so many ideas in my mind and trying to get them out of my brain and into Notion, but it's just overwhelming. I need to use my jotter more correctly. I forget to use it actually most of the time. I also need to get better at sorting things again with Notion. I've fallen off on that train, but when I was doing it, spot on. And that sorter works fucking amazing. I also designed a vision system to work with Notion to hold all of my goals, objectives, and otherwise, long-term and short-term. And I set some key goals in each of these areas, and holy shit, it motivated me so much. Like, the ultimate motivation is, do you have a fucking goal? Is it realistic? And if it's not realistic, are you working towards it every day and getting momentum so that it becomes realistic? Simple as that. Once you can do that, you're fucking thriving. Okay. Feeling like myself again. Holy shit. I went through a lot. Like 2 weeks ago, I was having a fucking nightmare day, man. And just, yeah, things were just so strange. And I just didn't feel like myself. And I had no momentum. And it was just like, it killed me. It really killed me inside. I asked Brian for some perspectives and just like was talking with him. And He really helped me, and then listening to tea with GaryVee also really helped me. And then I immediately took steps to rebuild my momentum, and holy shit, I started really gaining control of things. I immediately started feeling like myself. That Monday was like the greatest thing. And then, yeah, it showed me like it really just comes down to, if you're not feeling like yourself, perspective shift first and foremost, because it's always going to be about perspective, aka mindset, first and foremost. But then after that, it's absolutely about like action. It's about gaining momentum through your fucking actions and making you feel like you can do it again. Because I was super questioning if I could do it, but fuck, that was paramount. And it just, oh God, I'm very pleased at how it all went. Plus re-clarifying goals as well. And what I was just talking about with the vision system as well, that was a very big part of things as well. I did that on the Monday, and I was just like, right, because I'm striving for this again, and I just had forgotten. So that was very important as well. For perspective switches, by the way, if you were curious what I was really switching my perspective on, it was caring less about the judgment of metrics, judging myself less, having more fun with things, stop taking things so seriously. Like I was definitely taking things too seriously. I actually am taking things a little bit too seriously right now, so that's good to know. I will take things a little bit later. Knowing that we're in the early stages and that it gets better over time and it'll get crazy good over time. And yeah, those are the main things, man. Just have fun, do, and we'll be great eventually. Sleep schedule. Finally have progress in this area. Like for the longest time, I've been so bad, going to bed so late, waking up so late. It wasn't fun, okay? 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. was a very common thing for me. It was so sad. Now it's very different. I'm making a lot of progress, getting up way fucking earlier. I'm waking up at 9 a.m. on average, which feels amazing. Going to bed at like 1 a.m. type of thing. Pretty standard sleep schedule. I'm very here for it. Eventually, I'd like to go for like I should probably change it to 9, 8, etc. soon. But also eventually it'd be cool if I could do like 4, 5, 6, 8, or 4, 5, 6. Jesus Christ, great counting. 4, 5, 6, 7. But I will definitely cross that bridge when I get there. So things I did to adjust my sleep schedule and consistently start waking, like every day this week I woke up early. It's great. Like the latest was today at 10 or whatever the fuck it was. Like I was amazed. So main things I did, session on myself for resistance to falling asleep early, and also cutting myself off early at the end of my day. Like as soon as a certain time hits, I'd be like, yo, it's time for bed. Like almost followed that to a T. Worked so fucking well. If I didn't, I would just deprive myself of sleep the next day because my body would start getting itself up earlier. It was amazing. There was like magic, it was just magic, really. Also in the mornings, a big part of why I fucked up with my sleep schedule and would just go back to bed many times in the past was I would just want to sleep after meditation. I would have a meditation and then just fall right back asleep and then not have a timer. So setting a timer was super useful. I would set a timer for 20 minutes, start an oak meditation for 15 minutes, and then thrive. It was amazing. And also an energy work session somewhere in there, which actually also is related to like my morning ritual as well. I realized, holy fuck, like just get water in you as soon as possible, specifically Source Energy Medicine water, because it's like charged energetically and it just makes you feel like a fucking G. It's incredible. Your soul will thank you, I promise, if you're able to feel that. So doing that makes the meditation even fucking better. It's crazy. And if you do a water chug session, if you will, plus an energy work session, plus a meditation, it's the greatest fucking thing. Like, I don't know of a better way to start my day. And then I'll journal real quick, and then that's currently what I do in my morning ritual, and then I just get started on work. Plus coffee. Don't forget coffee. That's very important. I've also been having this struggle of like keeping up my energy all day, and I just notice myself I just want to crash at like 2, 3 type of thing. So I've been trying to do this midday like resets, if you will. I've been experimenting with meditations, naps, showers, all types of stuff like that that's going to leave me charged up. Also energy work. How the fuck did I not say that? But just anything that's going to raise me up and return me to morning ritual form, if you will. Because I realized I need to I get my best work done first thing. So if I can get as close to possible as the morning and just bring that morning energy to night, then I can get shit done for forever. So that's beautiful. And I want to keep working with this. I also like the coffee after I'm done my little nap or whatever to remind me, hey, it's time to fucking wake up. Yeah, I like these resets though. And that was a big takeaway from this week for sure. Fitness stuff. I don't give a shit about fitness right now. Okay, so I'm going to work out after this. I don't want to at all. But like, I'm honoring that I don't give a fuck. I'm still keeping my consistency of two times of lifting heavy per week, but like, I don't actually want to. Doesn't fire me up at all. I am a tiny bit scared I'm going to lose gains, but overall, it's maintenance is my goal right now. And it would be also probably a good idea if I just added more cardio or something just to keep me more active instead of just only doing 2 sessions of lifting a week. However, it saves me a lot of fucking time, so I'm here for that. Very here for that. Oh god, how have I taken so long to mention this? Azel and Snails beatbox collab. So your boy is the one who edited that specific video. That was really fucking cool. Felt awesome to work with. Like it was just a long time, not even a long time. We've had known each other for only a couple months, Azel and I, but it felt really good to work with that motherfucker. I love him to death. And it was also really cool to work with someone like Snails who's at that very high level, if you will. Great humans. Very fucking great humans. That was also awesome. Working with good humans means everything to me. In terms of the actual work, hitting the timelines accordingly felt so fucking good. I'm not very good at timelines, so hitting those felt like I grew a lot there. The accountability again, that was major. We also did a sick live after where we got on the live, Azel and I, and he gave me some shout outs to tell people to follow me, and it was pretty fucking gangster. And I also just did a really good job of asking questions to help bring value to his audience. It is literally just like a conversation when I'm on live with people, but yeah, I just ended up being very focused on just trying to bring as much value as possible through my questions that would really get the listeners the value that they're looking for when they choose to join the live. Very important to me. So like the shoutouts, the shout out from Azel was massive, and the fucking follow from GaryVee, those 2 things were really helping me with follower counts this week, so that's useful. Even though followers don't matter, but I still need to at the same time, I still want followers. Do you get what I'm saying there? Okay, hope you do. I still give a shit about my followers. I'm not trying to pay attention to the metrics, if you will. I'd rather look at them as people, which brings me to my next point, which is I am going to do such good fucking things someday, and I literally just deserve fame. Like, there are people who just don't give a shit about their audience. I give so much of a fuck, it's crazy. And this Azel experience especially just reminded me like how good my intent is and how it's going to take me in crazy good places some days. It's so rare to find a human that gives a genuine fuck about so much and really wants to do good by others, really cares about humans, and stuff like that, man. Like, what else did I write down here? Yeah, like I wrote down, like every day I prepare for living like a celebrity because that's already how I live my life. Like I am going to be that at some point. It's just a matter of like getting prepared to do that now. And yeah, like fuck yeah, this is eventually going to propel me. Like this good intent is going to propel me into success at a celebrity level. Now I wonder if I actually want that at the end of the day. I think I do, but I'm not sure if I do. Time will fucking tell. Anyways, so sick to work with him. My god. Feeling like on a different wavelength than most of the world with current events, stuff like COVID, even some like nuances within George Floyd, that type of stuff. However, like on the George Floyd stuff, actually let me focus on COVID real quick. Yeah, I basically disagree with everything people talk about with COVID, and it's like, it is providing me a lot of opportunity to get better at empathy, compassion, which I suck ass at right now, honestly. But with George Floyd stuff, it's things like people saying like all cops are bad. Like, are you kidding me? Like that's just you every time I see something like that, you're exposing your mindset for how weak it is, because it's not even necessarily weak, but just like lazy. It's so lazy to think that in absolutes like that, and it just because it takes such a different level of energy to evaluate each case individually, because we are fucking individuals. Anyways, so that drives me a little bit insane. It's been amazing to see everyone come together. Absolutely. Like, racism is dumb. Racism is just dumb as fuck. So like, I don't understand how people aren't able to see people as souls at this point, or even if you can't see that, just humans. Like, seeing color and seeing race is just fucking stupid. I don't know. Anyways, it is amazing though to see like how powerful it is, everyone coming together and fighting for this common good, if you will. So shout out to accountability. I've also been very resistant to saying anything, because like I'm white, to like, why the fuck would I say anything? But there's been this desire for black people to be like, yo, if you're white, say something. And fight with us, if you will. So that has been an interesting shift. And it also took Gary saying like the unlock of, you're going to talk about this to your grandchildren someday, because this is literally going in the history books. What are you going to tell them? Are you going to tell them that you said nothing, or are you going to tell them that you did what you could to fight for this cause? And I was like, holy shit, so right. So I'm definitely going to say something soon. Now I just got to figure out what exactly is the right message. And I've been like very cautious of what I am going to say about this, because I'm going to have people definitely proofread it, because I don't want to, it's a very touchy subject right now. And I want to make sure I'm saying something that is the right thing. Anyways, again, I just want to highlight, like, if you don't see people as souls first and foremost, or humans first and foremost, the fuck are we doing here? Like, racism is just, all of it. It's so fucking dumb. P.S. No fucking idea how I feel about the riots. Logically, I don't like them, but they might actually be good. Best POVs I've seen so far, definitely Gary's, definitely Azora's, and definitely my friend Q. Quick thing on non-material source energy medicine. Internal shields. Crazy useful. It's just like I'll touch more about this in the future, but like, we came up with this, or not we, actually, Mom came up with this 2 weeks ago. Insanely cool. And it happened to be last reflections, and I went from being like insanely hard on myself to very peaceful. And I thought it was a session, but it was actually a shield. Very, very fascinating. Definitely been making good moves in my typing experience, if you will. I am training myself to type with all my fingers instead of just my index, if you will, and like a little bit of the other ones. But yeah, anyways, going a little bit faster. I'm not 100% where I want to be at, and my brain goes faster than my hands can yet, but man, my C and P are a little bit off, but still just trying and I need to find like a list of words that drill like my weaknesses, because C and P are definitely that. In terms of, I'm hitting the wrong fucking keys. I'm still getting them, but I'm using like my index for the C, which should be my middle finger, and then P as many times my ring finger instead of my pinky, things like that. So I also did the calibration period for tbr.com, if you will, which is an incredibly useful tool I'm using a lot right now for drilling the basics. And yeah, there's definitely resistance at times to properly typing, but I've gotten so much better over the past 2 weeks. It's awesome. And yeah, also practicing with hard mode, if you will. I can't believe I just said hard mode. Also practicing with punctuation and symbols have been very useful as well, because if I can practice with like the hardest part of it all, if you will, and uncommon use cases, then it's going to not throw me off when I hit those types of roadblocks, if you will. So that's been working really well. And also just doing it daily gets easier all the time. My hair, it's so fucking dry. I wish I had hair like Will, okay? Like, holy shit, his hair is perfect. But my hair is not naturally that perfect. So I need to work on conditioning more. I need to leave in conditioner for way fucking longer than I am right now. Just consider walking around with it. I need to start doing conditioning 2 times a week. I also need to research girls who have curly hair and just adopt their situation, because I need to learn from those people instead of just trying to do whatever the fuck I'm doing right now. But anyways, I'm experimenting as we speak with I think a leave-in conditioner or something like that. It's looking a little bit nicer, which is good. I am fully on Spotify now. It is gone. See you later, Apple Music. It's always sad losing all my data, except all of my data is in Google Drive because I literally just put it all in a Google Sheet, if you will. It's really that easy, and I can sort effectively, and it's chill. I can also do that in Notion if I choose to, but I'm just going to leave it in Sheets just because I don't really want that in there at this point. So I did that with all the playlists as well, and just in case, and then transferred as much as possible, but I just didn't actually feel like doing all the transfers. But as for the Spotify playlist on the Beauty and the Bass front, I had this crazy insight, which is like, yo, I was always unsure of what the active playlist should look like. Should it just be like the latest? Should it be the upcoming one for Beauty and the Bass that isn't released yet and just like show the progress of getting there? But no, it's actually, I think, going to be about the future one, the current one, and the past one. I'll have it set up in a certain way where I'll be able to quickly funnel things out as they go on in time, if you will. But this idea of like having a bigger active Spotify playlist and just showing people what I'm fucking with most in the past like month, 2 months type of thing, I think that's gonna be really fucking fascinating and should help me get a lot of followers on Spotify. I just want to upgrade people's music libraries, okay? Fuck. I just want the world to love rhythm. It's my secret mission with music. Taking things personally. Man, everyone takes things so fucking personally right now, which is an opportunity to look at how I look at things in that sense. And yeah, I'm not amazing. I'm trying to get better at not taking everything so personally, but man, this is a summary of my past like 2 months. Everything is so much more objective than we think, but we make it so fucking personable, and it's just like, it's not about you. It's never about you. It's always about the other person. And like, if people start realizing that, their lives change. And I also find myself filtering myself at times to try to deal with people who are going to take things way too personally, and it's so silly. I don't like that I do this. So I'm getting better at it, but like, holy fuck, I still don't like that I do it at all. Social media, man. I am so loving breaks right now. It's incredible. I took a no phone day or no social media day, if you will, no texting day on Monday, and I also took one today. So needed. So fucking needed. I'm just so disinterested in consuming other people's content right now and messaging people back. Like, I just have no interest at all. I just think it's a great idea to just like honor what the fuck I'm interested in and just not try to judge myself because I don't give a fuck about consuming people's lives or their stories or their posts or anything like that. There's just so much I just don't want to consume right now. I'd rather create. So if I just give more permission to myself, just create more and create more often, I just would be so much more enriched, and I would make so much more progress. It'd be phenomenal. Environment. I love working in a clean area right now, and it's just so nice how clean everything is. Love it. I also am very rarely sitting at my desk. I wish I had a better desk. I don't have one right now. It is what it is. Also really enjoying going outside, working outside. That's been great. However, sometimes it's just better to work in my bed so no one can distract me. And even working downstairs, just working at different places has been working well. So yeah, as for the events of right now, it's just like the more I like look at society, the more exhausted I feel and the less I want to partake in society. I'm not like depressed or suicidal, don't get me wrong, but it's just I now very much know that I need to create my own sub-world within this world because I don't want to be a part of what the current world is. It's very disinteresting to me, and I'm just disappointed with people, to be quite frank. Like, I just thought the world was better than it actually is right now. And equally, that's something I need to look at internally and resolve that. Because if I can resolve that internally, I think the external will change as well. Regardless of what I just said right there, though, I absolutely still need to make my own sub-world and make something that keeps me fucking sane. Very important. Let's talk music real quick. I was watching Subtronics on a Twitch stream, and I've decided that Subtronics and I are going to be friends. I was interacting with him on Twitch throughout his demo stream, if you will, And it was actually fucking insane. Like, I got him to stop a song and just like speak to me real talk about it. Well, I was in the chat obviously, but he spoke to me real talk about just like social media mindset. And I was just like, this is great. Like, we've had enough conversations like that throughout Twitter and stuff like that. Only a handful, if at max. But I just think he's a good fucking dude, and he's also really fucking smart. So we're gonna be friends, if you're okay with that. Unless he starts calling me Josh Money again, then we're not going to be friends. So yeah, interacting with me on your Twitch stream, it just shows that you give a fuck. So like, thank you so much for interacting with me. It means the world. I love when people do that to me. I do the same to you guys, and I'm going to do the same as time goes on, because it just matters to give a fuck about your community. On Spotify front as well, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Only liking songs, and aka that means adding to your library, if you truly love it. I was so bad at this with Apple Music. I would just like everything, and then it would become a fucking nightmare. Now I only like things that I love, and it keeps things so fucking clean. My God, I'm loving Spotify. It's amazing. Also, my For You is just bananas. Is it called For You? No, your daily mix. I'm thinking of fucking TikTok. My daily mixes are crazy. I'm so pleased with it. It's insane. Discovery is everything on that platform. My God. Okay, mixing. Hacking away to daily still feels good. I'm so obsessed with this idea of like hard cuts and switch ups with sounds that sound so similar, like I did the other day, Throwing Elbows and Tizoki's Hold On remix for Illenium, because they sound so fucking similar. And with hard chops, it just can work. So anyways, I was loving that. Had a nice one today with Chode Gang and with Roughneck and Wrath. It was Wrath, yeah. Thinking of fucking Rolls Royce for a second there. Yeah, that shit sounds so good. If like the sounds are very similar or almost identical, it's so nice to have those switch ups like that. Fucking love it. It's been really good to work at night. However, sometimes I can work too early on it, and it actually just like sucks me away, and I end up just getting so wrapped in it, and I end up not being able to work on the chief priority task. And it takes up way too much of my energy, and then I don't spend it correctly, and then I quickly crash in my day. So be cautious of that. That's the only thing. But I'm excited for my new mix. I'm so close to actually recording it. I'm just like working on the transitions out right now and making sure the structure is proper. I'm also getting some watermarks from my friends, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, man, people are actually liking what I'm sending out, and it actually feels good to get like a really fucking good doubles and stuff like that. I do need a fucking mixer, man. Like I can only do so much with a fucking laptop, and it's really fucking annoying. But yeah, man, I will figure things out with this 1000%. For now, I'm just a fucking wizard on the laptop mouse, if you will, the touchpad. But yeah, that's what's up. Starbucks stuff, silly as fuck. I just found out there was rumors about me that were just like falsely spread. Really just irritated me. Thankfully, there's people that are smart enough to look through that bullshit. But yeah, man, I can't with some of those fuckers. Vast majority, very awesome, and I'm still keeping contact with a lot of them. But like, there's just like a handful of people that have just low-key irk me. It's amazing how shitty human beings can be sometimes. Fuck. It's just sad that you can be a shitty fucking human being. It makes me laugh because Starbucks is like looked at as this like perfect fucking company. But knowing some of these people exist inside makes me laugh. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, I can't wait to get this fucking vlog out. It's going to be amazing. And holy fuck, what a blessing it's going to be to move on and create a very ultra successful life in so many different ways, and really just stick it to these people who will buy into these false narratives that are just like, how do you... Anyways, I'm not going to get into this right now, but fuck. These motherfuckers, man. Shout out to the fucking gem who told me that. I'm going to leave them anonymous, but love and appreciate you so fucking much. It was very cool to be a part of VaynerMedia's marketing for the Now webinar. I say that like I'm actually part of the webinar. I'm just viewing. But it was really cool. I ended up like sitting down and taking notes, and it just hits so fucking differently when you're actually writing your notes. My God, and fully present to that. Beautiful. My struggle with that actually was I was trying to live tweet into insights and takeaways at the same time, which was actually really, really cool and actually helped me gain some followers and get some good messages out and all that shit. But it also just showed me that I have a pattern around things having to be a certain way. And I started to crumble after that because I was like so attached to making sure I got everything, and like when I didn't get everything down, I was like, ugh. Like I started freaking out on the inside, and it was just like this sabotage effect, which showed me a lot of like patterns I have throughout like recording, throughout content, throughout business, throughout like all areas of my life basically, when I'm way too attached to things going a certain way instead of just going with the flow. It's really what it is in its simplest form. So that showed me I have a lot of work to go on detachment and overall like the plan, if you will, because as soon as a plan is started, it's immediately rewritten. That's just how plans work. So that also leads me into a lot of girl stuff as well. But before I get there, 2 insights that really fucking stuck with me. First, go fast, aka speed, with good intent. And that was from the Petco CMO, and that just showed me like, holy fuck, like if you actually want to win in business, you can't fucking go slow, and you just have to have good intent with your speed. Crucial. Second lesson is from Converse CMO, and it was about following your curiosity and how that will take you to some interesting places. And aka, in my opinion, that's just intuition. Like if you follow your intuition, it's going to lead you to some incredible places. And for him, that was looking like early days Twitter, early days Instagram, early days YouTube, shit like that. Fucking crazy, man. So why this is related to girls and why I bring this up is like many times in the past I have struggled with being too attached of the way things are going, and then if they don't go a specific certain way, I start to just like crumble and then get irritated, and then I just don't want to pursue anything any further. But I need to get better at going the flow, especially with creatures like humans. What the fuck am I saying? Creatures like girls who are much more inclined to operate from a flow type of place. It's much more feminine in nature, and I appreciate that. Like I want to get better at that as well. So with that being said, things that went on with girls this week. I had a lot of resistance around stuff this week. Definitely some questions going on in my brain of like, am I actually wanted? I felt like I was giving too much at some point with certain people, and they weren't like reciprocating in the same way. So I was dealing with some unwanted stuff. I definitely took a good shot with one girl and was very confused because I got such mixed messages, my God. But and I think it ended up being an L, which is a beautiful thing because it gave me a chance to work on a lot of patterns, and I don't know if I've healed them fully yet, but I'm definitely in the right direction, which is a beautiful thing for me. It is what it is. I did what I could control. But it did fuck with me because I'm like, I feel like I am what girls want in a bunch of different ways. And sometimes I can get too attached to that idea. And then when it doesn't work out the way I want, then I'm like, am I not that? So it's a bad thing to be connected to, but I need to look into that more. +1 for me shooting my shot though, even though it didn't go as planned. What I know now is I do not feel like investing any more energy. I just don't. It's not worth my fucking time right now. Like, this girl is cool, but I'm not gonna fucking bend over backwards for anyone. So that's not how I fucking roll. I'm too fucking important. Sorry. I want to get better at becoming more witty. I also want to get better at handling tests. Very important to me. Would like to allocate more time in my calendar to doing that. Just evolving, if you will. P.S. I also just love talking casually about sex. It's beautiful. It should be like that. Like, why do we keep it on such a fucking pedestal? I feel like life would be so much fucking better if everyone just took it right off a pedestal and just was more free around the topic. Like, it needs to happen at some point. Okay, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Hope this came out valuable as fuck for you. Again, first time trying new things. It came out probably way too long. But I'm going to get better at these in time, and I hope it did come out good. And if it didn't, life goes on. Episode 2. See you there. If you would be so kind, if you got enough value from this, please definitely throw a like down below, and so that you can tell me like, hey, you actually like this, and definitely comment what your biggest takeaway was. And if you're also kind enough, definitely tell me what I can improve on, because I do want to improve right now. Again, thank you so much for watching and listening. As always, my name is Josh Moxie. This has been Reflections 82 or something else number 1, and I will catch you later.